I'm Podvigina Marina Mikhailovna, and I'm an English teacher at school 1317 Moscow. Today we are going to talk about how to do speaking part 3 of Russian state exam again. Well, in part 3 you are shown 3 different pictures. Below the pictures there is a task. You should read the task carefully because it contains all the necessary information. The time which you have to prepare your answer, the time during which you have to talk, and a plan which you have to follow while talking. The first thing you have to do is to choose one picture out of the 3 given. While making your choice, please consider the following factors. The subject of which picture is clear to you. The topic of which picture is closer or more familiar to you. Talking about which picture, you can use a wide range of vocabulary. You should make your choice as soon as possible because otherwise you might lose a lot of time. As soon as you've decided on one picture, you click a mouse. 2 pictures will disappear, and now you have got one picture in front of you to concentrate on. The description which you have to make shouldn't look like separate answers to different questions. In fact, it should be a continuous story with an introduction and a conclusion. Remember, you are the person who took this picture, so you are not in the photo. The conclusion and the introduction are not included in the plan. Nevertheless, to make your story smooth and logical, you have to include them in your description. Besides, it's one of the criteria while assessing your speaking part. The introduction should contain some general information which can be related to any picture you'll have to describe. For example, taking photos is my favorite hobby, and I always take a lot of photos wherever I go. Now, back to the plan. The first point you have to concentrate on, and the first point you have to cover, is to say when the picture was taken. To do this, first pay attention to some features of a season or part of the day in the picture, and if there aren't any, for example, the picture was taken inside, you can choose whatever you like. The phrases which can be used are the following: yesterday, last week, last summer, last Monday, 2 weeks ago, 2 years ago, a week ago, etc. You have not only to mention the time period, but also speak about the place where the picture was taken and about what you together were doing then. For example, I took this picture last year when my family and I were having holidays. We were then in Greece exploring the country. Now you have to speak about what and who you can see in the picture. The things which you must mention while describing the picture are a place in general, weather, if possible, objects, people, and people's clothes. You start with the more general information and move to details. There are some useful phrases which you can use to describe the picture and to talk about what you can see in different parts of the picture. In the foreground, in the background, in the left top corner, in the right top corner, in the bottom left corner, in the bottom right corner, on the left side, on the right side, in the center of the picture. I usually call this part of a story a static part because we are not talking about actions here. Therefore, the tense which we can use here, or we must use here, is present simple tense. We use present continuous tense only to say what the people in the picture are wearing. The next part, however, is about actions. You have to answer the question, what is happening in the picture? You can guess that present continuous tense is appropriate here, as we are talking about what is happening in the picture, what people and animals are doing here, and what's going around them. Even if there are not many actions, please mention this and give your reasons why it is so. Remember to talk about people's emotions and feelings. Tip 1. It's always easier to talk not about abstract people, but about someone you know quite well. So pretend that in the photo there is your sister, your nephew, or your dearest cat. In the next part, you have to explain why you took this picture. Actually, you can think of 1 or 2 reasons suitable for any picture you're going to describe while getting ready for your exam. Then you'll just have to substitute some words or phrases for the appropriate words and phrases for the picture you are describing. For example, actually, it was the first time when I saw my sister Natalie playing with such a little kid. She and her friend Yegor looked so happy together that I couldn't but took this photo. The reason why you decided to show this photo to a friend can be universal for any picture. For example, I believe you have never seen my little nephew, so I decided to show this photo to you so that you can get the first impression of him. Or, I believe that you have never been to Greece, that's why I decided to show this picture to you to introduce the country to you. To round up your story, you can share your feelings about it with your friend and express your hope that he or she also likes the picture and would possibly join you on a similar occasion in the future. For example, this photo is very special to me and I hope you also liked it. Maybe next time you will join us on our trip. To make it clear that your story is over, it's a good idea to say, "This is all I wanted to tell you about this picture." I've got some other tips which might help you to prepare a good answer. Tip number 2. While practicing describing a picture, always pay attention to the number of the sentences in each part of your story. It's very important because to get high points for this criteria at the exam, you have to produce from 12 to 15 sentences. Tip number 3. While practicing describing a picture, learn to manage the time. This is essential because you can't talk more than 2 minutes. The recording will stop. I hope that you have found this information useful and it will help you to get ready for your state exam and pass it successfully. Good luck!